Salam.
Salam, we're live, I believe. Yeah, let me just put the thing here. Make sure that the stream is going live. And yep, both on Rumble and YouTube, the only two places. Okay, so uh, today we were going to talk about chapter 33, sign number, I believe, 9 to around 20. Yeah, that's where we're going to cover today,
Yes, that's
what that
correct.
is talking about. And
Yep.
also, just to update from now on, I'm not going to be doing a weekly, or we're not going to do a weekly podcast. We will just wait for enough questions to come so that we can hold one on one of the Saturdays after that, right? So basically, if anybody wants any questions, answered questions, yeah, I'm not going to read portions of the Quran either. It does have no benefit that I see at all. If anybody has any questions about particular a sign or two, whatever, and or any questions about the Quran or God, anything, they can send those into this email that's below, or any other way they can communicate with me that they know. Yeah. So basically, whoever wants to engage in any Q&A, they can come as well on that weekend on Saturday. So I'll schedule the meetings once I have enough questions to address. Yeah, I'm not going to do this every week anymore. I don't see any particular benefit for anyone, especially it doesn't benefit me much, except that God rewards me for displaying or disseminating, delivering the message, which I'm doing 24/7 anyways. So basically, this email at the bottom, either send a question there or any other method you can find from my website, themajesticreading.com. And I will, once I have enough questions that they will take about an hour or so to answer, I will schedule the stream that Saturday after that. All right, that's out of the way. So let's see. We're going to bring up chapter 33. Let's bring it up. All right. So we have it already. So we will start from chapter 33. The title is The Societies. And the societies basically are those that have already been destroyed by God. Noah, Hud, Saleh, Pharaoh, all these things that have been destroyed, that is where the societies actually are referred to fundamentally, at the highest level in the Quran. Of course, it refers to all societies, but the societies that the Quran refers to over and over are these that are calling all these people now on the earth to the fire. Pharaoh and all the past leaders of mankind, they're calling the current um, leaders of mankind to the fire, and the people on the earth to the fire. That's how it happens. I mean, there is an unseen process going which most people have no clue about. They try and figure out the scene, and the scene is just the tip of the iceberg. The far greater forces and influences from the unseen, and it all comes to you because of the decisions you take, because of the stand you take in yourself, your soul and your heart and your desire, and then your striving. That will bring the power of the unseen to you, the side that you go on, whether it's Satan or towards God. Most are just sitting in the middle doing nothing and expecting things to happen for them just by themselves. And they do, obviously. I mean, if you do nothing, things will happen to you. And if you do things, things will happen to you. So you might as well make some headway in the striving of your conviction, and maybe you'll get some fruit of that striving. and maybe not. But certainly in the hereafter, you will, no doubt about that. So here, this is the Spirit, Gabriel, the Holy Spirit, speaking to all those who believe. And he says, O you, those who believe, remember favor of the God over you. Behold, came to you forces, but we sent over them wind and forces, not you saw them. And is the God with what you do watching. So here, what I've been saying, look at this, yeah. He's telling the believers who are in front of him, Muhammad and those with him, that remember God's favor. There came forces and we sent over them wind and forces. You didn't see them. So guess where the power is? Just like I said, in the unseen. And is the God with you what you do watching? So he's watching with what you do. Of course, he sees most of them as hypocrites, as you will see. Behold, came to you from above you and from lower from you. And behold, blurred the sights and reached the hearts, the throats. And you thought with the God, the thoughts. What is he referring to here? Because they were like, oh my God, there's no help. We're going to be destroyed. Right there tested the believers and they shook, shaking severe, which happens every time. I mean, as I see those few that are with me, they can't stand the slightest shock, let alone be in a war like this is being described here, that the believers face the enemies in open battle. And they were shook. And the people that I see on the earth, they can't stand the slightest critique of their actions, let alone be fought against. And behold, they said, the hypocrites and those in their hearts disease. So this is talking about the believers, from the believers, those who were hypocrites and in their hearts disease. So what do they say? Not promise us the God and his messenger except deception. So the moment the tide goes out and you don't have a place to stand, or your reality is shown, and you're not powerful enough because you can't stand against your enemy in real battle, oh, this is deception, and God and the messenger only promised us deception, right? This is what the believers do. Forget about the others, guys. And they blame this as some other entity. This is talking about from the believers who pretend to be with the messenger. This is them. And behold, set a party from them. So who is them? From those who are with them. And O keepers of Yathrib. So this Yathrib is today called Medina in Saudi Arabia, as far as I understand. And Medina is basically the word for city. So they've just destroyed the whole aspect of what is written in the Quran. Because Medina is written over and over in the Quran, doesn't refer to Yathrib. Yathrib is the city where this happened when Muhammad and the believers fought against their enemies that were trying to overcome them. And from them who were in Yathrib, which today they call Medina, which is nonsense, they said, a party from them, O keepers of Yathrib, no station to you but return. So, don't come here. You can't stand against the people that are against you. Return to us. Yeah. And they excused a group from them, the prophet, they said. So now, so these morons who are the hypocrites and those that have disease in their hearts are telling, from them, telling the people of Yathrib, the keepers of Yathrib, that no station. And then from those who were willing to fight, they started accusing the prophet. And they said, surely our homes bare. So, we have got nothing at home. We don't have any food and water. We can't really help you. And not here with bareness, if they wanted, except running. Understand how it works. This is how it works every time. When there is a movement on the earth of people who want to stand against atrocity, or let's just say want to stand against those who they perceive to be against them, and they want to band together and then fight them in whatever way, not physically generally, but physically as well as rhetorically or through economics or whatever. So they band together, and then the first problem they see, half of them run away. And then the other half are like, oh, we've got no place for them from. And then the end, there's only 2 or 3 people left who are just overcome by the enemy. This is how people are. This is how societies generally are. There are very few who have the power and the wherewithal to stand to the end. Only few like me. We are the only one. We don't care how much strife is going to come our way. We stand on the book of God. We stand by the side of God. We don't fear all of you morons. We fear God. And we know He's going to try us as well. It's not like we get away scot free and none of us die and we're not killed and we're not prosecuted and we're not made paupers on the earth through the power of Satan and his bullies that are here who only hate us for our faith. And that we stand against them and they will never let us come in front of them to dispute what they're doing and what is righteous because they know they're going to lose if there's a serious argument. But the problem is most of mankind is turned against God, so they don't even need to address it. And that's what happens towards the end, which is happening right now. So this is how people are. They are hypocrites. They turn against their convictions the moment they see the first sign of trouble. And then there are hypocrites from them and those that have no conviction in their hearts to what they're standing up for, which I see most of the people have dealt with in my life. And so this is what happens. They say, "Oh, come on, there's no place. Get return, return." And then those people, "Oh yeah, we got to return," and they make excuses. They hear the excuses, "Our home's bare," right? And not here with bareness, if they wanted, except running. They just want to run away from the battle, from the confrontation. And if entered over them from her sides, her is the city, then they ask the trial to be coming to her and not their tarrying with her except easy. So if they want a trial to come to the people, like somebody comes, "Oh, hey, do this so you'll overcome the people that are in the city. Hey, we'll give you like what's happening in Iran right now and has happened in the last month and a half, that they have armed the rebels and given them uh, communication gear and all to cause strife in Iran to overthrow the government. And those people who are minority are using that to overthrow the government or try. They haven't succeeded yet. So this is how it happens. If there's a trial where we'll throw them out through subterfuge and then we'll be in charge, they'll run to that no problem. But if you have open confrontation, they will run away. They love to fight from behind walls, from behind a barrier. They will never confront. Truly, these are the hypocrites. Yeah. And already they promised the God from before, not would they turn the backs, and his promise of the God to be questioned. So this is telling you all these people, this is not the rejected we're talking about here. People think these are the enemies of God. These are the so-called supporters of the messenger and God. This is how they behave, you know. And now the Spirit says, commands the messenger, tells him, say. So after all this has been explained to all of you who are this, most of you are this, by the way, those who are with me as well, you are this, what I've just explained to you. Say, not will it benefit you the running if you run from the death or the killing, and then not will you enjoy except a little. So keep running. If you run from the death or the killing, not will it benefit you to the running if you run from the death or the killing. And what are they doing here? They're running from the death or the killing. This up here, all this is about the battle that was occurring between Muhammad, the believers, and their enemies. So he's telling them at this stage, I mean, of course, this is like a ad lib after the fact. It's not happening during the battle. This is all happened. And then Muhammad is being told to tell them, and this is for all of the future people, that if you run from the death or the killing, then not will you enjoy except a little, because you ain't running from death nor from the killing if God ordains killing on you. Death, there's no escape. I mean, maybe you won't be killed, but die you will. There's no escape. So if you're running from this, it is not going to benefit you. You're running, yeah. Then the Spirit commands the messenger to say again, say, who with that he will stop you from the God, if intends with you evil or intends with you mercy. So who's going to stop? If he intends evil with you, God, or he intends mercy with you, who's going to stop that? Nobody. So if he mercies me, nobody's going to stop that mercy. And if he brings evil to me, nobody's going to stop that evil either. So who do you turn to? God and then his messengers. And not will they find to themselves from other than the God inheritor and not helper. All help and all inheritance is to God. He will inherit you to the Satan if you turn against him. He will make Satan your protector and your helper and your inheritor. Turn against God, that's what's going to happen. And you will run on the earth like you all are, most of you, rich, famous, careers, all this wealth, the empire that you're building. And you think you're being blessed by God. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Already he knows. So this is, by the way, the spirit ends that. Yeah, Muhammad ended with, if he intends mercy, and the spirit adds, and not will they find to themselves from other than the God, inheritor and not helper. Keep dreaming. Already he knows the God, the laggards from you, and the unmindful to their brothers. So these are, come to us. These are the lag. Hey, come sit with us. Don't go with the ones who are fighting. And not they come to the war except a little. So the laggards bring all the others, which is all being explained up here. The laggards, and you can't even fight with words. Forget about arms, yeah. What a bunch of morons the people are. At least the Americans fight with battle, although they're doing wrong. At least they go and fight. Yeah. The hypocrites, they run to the freaking caves and hide from the war. And not they come to the war except a little. So these are all the so-called believers, yeah. Is desire over you. Now the Spirit tells again, all of you believers, is desire over you. But when comes the fear, you see them, you meaning the messenger, they're looking to you, turning their eyes like one. It covers over him from the death. So that's when the fear comes, when destruction comes, when trial comes, when strife comes to you, when you're in strictness, then you come looking to the messenger, and your eyes turn like death is covering over you. But when goes the fear, they slither to you with the tongues, strongly desiring over the good. So when the fear goes away, they come running to you. Oh, let's have good fun now, yeah. Those not they believe, so shuts the God their deeds, and is that over the God easy. So understand how destitute mankind actually is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mankind is destitute to a level they will never understand. They want is the good. And that's not the way of God in this world. You will be tried with good, you will be tried with evil. It's
Yeah.
not going to be good all the time. I don't know what happened here. Let me bring this up. Is it this way? This one? Which one is it? Okay, maybe this will bring it. Oops. There's some problem with the sharing here. Let me fix this
Yeah, we can't see anything right now. I can't see your video.
as well now. There we go. Oops. Wow. We've got two of me.
Yeah.
Out. Hide that? No. Yeah, that's better. Oop, I'll put me here.
Yeah.
Okay. So where
Yeah.
was I? Where did I get lost there? So this is how mankind is.
Yeah.
They're
And
always like that. They will never change. It's not like we've evolved any. People say that mankind through evolution has gained civility. Now we're civilized. We have more back and forth. We talk to each other and we resolve our issues. We have technology. We've seen the world like we've never seen before. We are the most powerful. We have now seen the universe what it is, which is a complete lie, by the way. Uh, and then the people in the past, they thought the earth was flat. They knew the reality. The earth is
yeah.
level and stationary. And all this nonsense only occurred in this generation in the last 100 years. The depiction of the earth and the heavens as some sort of some sort of nonsense, which is impossible. It cannot be maintained. There's no way that can be maintained. It is a projection of nonsense and all the stories they've invented on how they discovered that the earth is curved. Yeah, while that curve has never been located yet physically, only through their GoPro videos and videos from quote unquote space out there, which are contorted, distorted to show you a globe earth which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Absolutely does not exist. So
Mm, true.
all our knowledge is based on nonsense. Yeah, the technology is there through what is the biggest technology they've invented? Communication. In the last 40 years, communication is the biggest technology they've invented, and data gathering. Two things. And through that, they have made themselves into super rich beings who think now they will become immortal somehow. Yeah, it's not going to happen. And the destruction is coming to them. There'll be no pushing that back and coming to that. Today, we have the moral authority of the earth, the United States, and the bigger moral authority on the earth, the Israelis, taking clear and absolute action to save us all by destroying Iran. Because Iran was posing an imminent threat to the whole world. They were ready to blow up the whole world with a nuclear weapon that they don't have. But the moment they will get it, they will blow us all up with one weapon, right? Immediately.
It's crazy.
They're making ICBMs, I tell you. I heard Trump tell me, so it's got to be the truth. I mean, Trump told me that they're making ICBMs now, which will reach America soon, very soon. And and since they're making the ICBMs, they have to have the program to make the nuclear weapon. Otherwise, the ICBM won't work. So A, B, C, done. We got to destroy them. We got to destroy them. So yeah, the
Mm,
destruction has started today. Thank God. Yeah, we will be
mm,
saved. Thank God, Iran will be destroyed and we will be saved immediately. The moment Iran is destroyed, there will be peace in the world, Middle East especially. And then, just like when Iraq was destroyed, it was complete peace in the Middle East. Yeah, and then Syria, and then Libya, and before that Afghanistan. It's just peace. Yeah, like you look around, the moment they destroy a country,
country.
peace breaks out. Right. Yeah, this time I don't know how it's going to end. I hope there's a lesson taught to the moral authority on the earth, that that moral authority is nothing but Satan, and satanic to the nth limit. Both of these entities, they call themselves, oh, the Iranians call the Americans the big Satan and the Israelis the small Satan. Well, that's true. There's nothing wrong. I mean, it's absolute truth. And the only caveat is that the Iranians are also the small Satan. I mean, it's Satan fighting Satan right now on the earth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how God does it in the end, or whenever He wants. He chooses part of mankind to stand against another part of mankind to keep a balance. Yeah. And the balance had been thrown into disarray after the dissolution of the Soviets, yeah, in 1991, whatever it was, somewhere around 1990. And since then, America has been wreaking havoc on the earth, literally in the name of freedom and democracy, in the name of the rules based world order, which has to be implemented for our benefit. Look, everybody's getting rich. Can't you see? I mean, we have peace blooming everywhere. I mean, right now you can see it on the earth. I mean, peace is what we have everywhere, right? Nothing but peace. Anyway,
Yeah.
so let's go to questions now. You have
Yeah.
any?
Now, going back to the paragraph that the signs that you read from the Quran, and of course, I've read the Quran many times, and it's true that we are big cowards and all those things that you read. I mean, you can see yourself doing that, and the biggest lesson for all of us is to learn from this and not be like that, even if those thoughts or those ideas are put into you by yourself or the Satan or whoever. You have to fight them, knowing the truth in the Quran. And anyway, talking about the hypocrites, I do have a sign, and if you can clarify this to me, because I do understand it, but I do get stuck on it. It is in chapter 2, chapter chapter 2, sign number 76. And when it says, when they meet those who believe, they say, we believe. And when pass some of them to others, they say, are you going to tell them with what opens the God over you to their contending you with your Lord? Will but not you understand? Okay, I didn't do a very good job of reading it. So anyway, but my question is that what are they saying? Don't they
Okay.
know that that who is their Lord, right? Like, I mean, there's only one Lord. So what is going on here?
Okay, let's read it. Let's bring it up and read it and see what it's saying.
I mean, God knows what we hide and what we announce. So yeah.
So this you have to go back. So this is to those who have hardened their hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are but you tranquil that they believe to you? So the Spirit is asking the believers here, by the way, it's not just the messenger. Are but you tranquil that they believe to you? And already is a group from them, they hearing word of the God, then they changing it from afterward they understand it.
I said the connection dropped. Okay,
Okay.
now it's back. It's back. Okay. Can
All
you
right.
start again?
Yes. So are but you tranquil that they believe to you? Telling the believers, this is the Spirit Gabriel telling us, asking us. And already is a group from them, they hearing word of the God, then they change it from afterward they understand it, and they know. So these are those who know the word, hear it, and they change the word, which is all those so-called Muslims out there. They have changed the word of God. The words' meanings have been changed. Their interpretation has been changed by the nonsense they've added outside the Quran, attributed to my brother Muhammad and all others before him. And the same thing was done by the so called Christians and Jews. Exactly the same thing. There's nothing different here. Yeah. So he's telling the believers, are you going to be tranquil that they believe to you? To you, like all the believers. The others, the believers think that those who say they're believers are believing to them, while they've changed the word, and the believers cannot understand why they're acting that way because they themselves are not like that. They're not hypocrites, right? So they can't understand that. And he's telling them, will you not understand it? That they've done this. And then he says, and when they meet those who believe, these same people who pretend to believe, they say, we believe. That's what they tell us, right? My
Yeah.
parents, my brothers, some of them don't even say that. Some of the
Mhm.
so called Muslims, if you talk to them, they don't believe anything. They just are paying lip service to this, to the society, the culture, so they can get along.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about God and his books or
Yes.
his
One of
message.
my uncles is the biggest example of
Your
that.
father was just as big an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My mother,
Mhm.
absolutely. My brothers. And when pass, some of them to others, they say. So now they go to, are you going to tell them with what opens the God over you? To their surely contending you with it, with your Lord. So now they're saying that what's happening here is they all have their faith, right? Of lies. The sects of the so called Muslims, the Sunnis, the Shias, the Aghanis, the Ahmadis, the Qadianis, the Brailwi, all these different sects. God only knows how many there are. Takfiri, all these groups. They're telling them, are you going to tell them with what opens the God over you? What does the God open over them? Rejection. So they're saying between themselves that are you going to tell them with what God says to you or opens over you? To they surely contending you with it, with your Lord. So don't tell them, they will, otherwise they'll contend you with it, with your Lord. So as long as you don't tell what you believe and they don't come and tell you you're wrong, you're better off than when you tell them what you believe actually, and they destroy your belief with this book, like I will. I have destroyed every single nonsensical belief invented by these goddamned people who call themselves Muslims, who are under the biggest strife of God for the last 25 years. The most reviled people on the earth are those who are called Muslims. It's the truth. Not that the US and the Europeans aren't reviled either, they're fully reviled as well. But the most reviled by God are these, because they've taken the book of God and they've shat upon it. They have mutilated it, they've invented nonsense over God, right? That's what
Right.
they've done. No doubt about it.
Yes.
So whatever they've invented, if they contend with me, you look at yourselves, all of you. How much did you contend with me when I brought to you the book of God, when I didn't even know as much as I know now?
Yeah.
You did that. You didn't want to talk about it. You didn't want to dispute me with it. You didn't want to discuss your faith with me that it may be wrong. This is what's happening here. Because they know that if they can contend you with your Lord, then they will have a place of argument against you, right? Wherever, here or there. And they will, but not you understand. Obviously, you people don't understand.
Yeah,
Or
no, for
not they
sure.
know. Surely the God, He knows what they hide and what they declare.
Yeah, yeah,
From
for
them
sure.
illiterates, not they know the book except safekeeping. All these so-called keepers of the book are illiterates. Like I said last week, illiterate does not mean that you can't read and write, that you don't have knowledge. It's that you don't know the book of God. You don't know the wisdom and book of God. That's what makes you illiterate in this book. All they know it as safekeeping. What do? They
Yeah,
safekeep the book.
but you
They
put it on
protect it
top of
like God. They don't let you touch it if you're
yeah
dirty. They'll put it on the top of uh,
cupboard.
the cupboard so that it remains higher than everyone else and you can't reach it. And if
Mhm,
they accept their thinking, this is what they are. This is what all of
mhm,
you are who are out there who think that
mhm.
you believe. You never touch the book of God. You go to your goddamned imams and scholars and they feed you garbage and you pay them for it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what you do.
yeah, no, for sure. And another sign is that it's in chapter 6, sign number 65. And it says that he wraps you sex. What does that mean?
Okay, let's bring it on. So this is the spirit telling the messenger to say. You have to look at the context, but I'll explain just this separately. Yeah,
Yeah,
as I know what it's saying. Say, he the powerful over that he brings out over you punishment from above you or from beneath your feet, or he wrap you sects. So what is the sects? And he makes taste some of you war of others. Sects are groups. He makes you into different parties so that you war against each other. If you don't obey God and his messengers, he can do any of this. He can bring over you punishment from above you, from beneath your feet. Is that not obvious that he can? Does he
yeah,
not all over the place all the time? You don't
yes,
even see the punishment coming on people all over the world. I mean, you can see some now because we have communication and videos everywhere, and you can see the punishment of God coming over them day and night, all over the earth, right? Of course,
yes,
the full punishment isn't there, but people are getting punished by the so called nature, they tell us, right? Bullshit. And from beneath your feet, what? I mean, how many examples of this is there? Or he wrap you sects. Sects are different groups with different ideology fundamentally. And he makes taste some of you war of others. So that's well, look at what is happening in the earth.
yeah,
None of them are believers,
yeah,
and they're all fighting with each other, and it's growing by the day. You know, is this the war that will bring the end to the sons of Israel? The beginning of this war in Iran. One of them will. I've been telling this for what is it? 18 years. I've been saying it at
yeah,
least that
yes,
the sons of Israel will be destroyed at the end of this sequence. At the end of this society, the sons of Israel will be in ruins. And the sons of Israel are not just the Jews, they are the Jews and the Christians by and large. So they will start a war eventually that will destroy them, or God will bring his war and destroy them. Which one? I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, this war that they've started today with Iran, absolutely illegal, unjustified war of aggression.
yeah,
And they say it is a preemptive war because there was an imminent threat to us. Yeah, only the most deluded animals who have absolutely no understanding of reality will think
yep,
that there was an imminent threat by Iran to the United States. I
yep.
mean, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, you have to be kidding me.
Yeah, and like just to put my 2 cents in, like I mean, they choke the countries, the U.S. especially with all the sanctions, and they choked Iran, they choked Venezuela, they're choking Cuba
Syria.
right now. Yeah, Syria, Libya, all these places, they choke them, and then they say, like, right now what they're doing to Cuba, that they're like talk, especially the President Trump of theirs, that, oh, they have nothing, they're in a really bad shape. I mean, is that something to be proud of as human, mankind, whatever? I mean, we are supposed to feed them, clothe them. Is it something to be proud of that we're doing that? And then they make Iran and their own people say that the US people, that they caused this economic situation recently that got so worse, and so that the protests would happen, and then they put in their protesters so that they could create chaos and try to change the regime without,
Well, that's the
outside
way it is. I mean, like
and
what? There's nothing new in that.
no,
That's
but
the way they do it. But who's to blame? Themselves.
yeah,
The
yeah,
Iranians start only to blame the evil that comes to you. You can't blame it on someone else. Yes, what they're doing is absolute evil. And they blame it on the government of the country, that this, because of them, the economy is bad. Nonsense. It's not because of them at all. It's because of the sanctions they implemented. How can they implement sanctions if they didn't control the financial system on the earth? That is the key. And the world let them do it after World War II. And now they're reaping the whirlwind for what they made the compact with the Satan. And they're all Satans,
yeah,
satanic, if not Satans.
yeah,
So I
no,
don't care. I mean, they can do
no,
whatever the hell they want.
yeah,
And in the end, they will all be destroyed. There's no two things about that.
no,
It's
I
a
know.
matter of time. It's not if, it's when. Is this the when? I don't know. I mean, I've been saying it for 18 years. These people will be destroyed. The Western hegemony will be crushed. All their highness will be destroyed. Take it to the bank. Whether I live to see it or not doesn't take away from the point that it's going to happen. The fact is, it's going to happen. Nothing is going to stop that. Not themselves and not God. God is not going to stop that because God has ordained it. It is just a matter of term to be reached before He destroys them. And it doesn't matter whether they fight each other to destroy them or He brings His
It's
forces
punishment.
to destroy them or the so-called nature, which is God forces, yeah, the
Yeah,
elements. I mean, there's oh, it's a natural disaster.
yeah, no,
Yeah, idiot, that's the worst kind of disaster because God is bringing it upon you.
yep, yep, yep. And I hate it when they say that. I hate
Natural.
it.
This
Yeah,
is nature. Really, really, this is nature. Bunch of
yeah.
morons.
Okay, and one more sign. It's in chapter 4, sign number 165. If you could just explain that whole sign.
So let's start from the one before. Let's start from here. Surely we inspire to you, that is me, by the way, or Muhammad before me, and whoever else was a messenger before me after the Quran came. We inspire to you like what we inspire to Noah and the prophets from after him. And we inspire to Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac and Jacob and the tribes and Jesus and Job and Jonah and Aaron and Solomon. And we brought David Psalms. And messengers have we explained them over you from before. And messengers, not we explain them over you and spoke the God to Moses speaking. So understand the two lines here give you a sea of knowledge that these people have no understanding of because they don't know what the Quran is all about and what God is all about.
Yeah.
Messengers. So now I don't know many of the messengers, and I know many of the messengers. Most of them I don't know actually. When he says we explained over you from before, and messengers not we explain over you. So obviously, most of the messengers I have no knowledge of. I have knowledge of the ones that are spoken about in the Quran, the Torah, and the Injil, which is called the Bible. Messengers, So they are all messengers who are informers and warners, to surely not they being to the mankind over the God contention after the messengers. So they are not going to be a contention over mankind, because mankind will not be able to say we didn't get a messenger. That's why it is written like this. So you
Okay, got it.
understand? So
Yeah.
basically, since the messengers have come, and I have come to these people, and I've informed them, and I've warned them, they will have no contention over God from after the messengers, after me, after the other messengers. I mean, the Quran is the messenger fundamentally, because the
Yeah.
Quran is the speech of the Holy Spirit, inspired to him by God. It is the Holy Spirit who is speaking this Quran to all of us, to mankind, to the demon kind. It is the messenger. Oh, I mean, obviously, it's a static messenger. It speaks the same words forever because they are applicable forever. And we take from these words the other messengers who God chooses to deliver it to you, to explain it to you, what's happening here. And is the God mighty, wise. So, yeah, I mean, I've already come and I've delivered all the warning that needs to be delivered. Nobody is listening, obviously. I mean, there's nothing, there's no surprise or, oh my God, there's no. There's no response. Nobody's believing. Yeah, exactly. That's how it works every time. There's nothing untoward about that. Nobody believes when the messenger comes.
No, I mean, exactly. I mean, when we listen to what you have taught us from the Quran and whatever you have told us, and then when we look outside, at least when I've tried to look a little bit outside of what people are saying, I am shocked. I am like, I mean, how can they even say things like that? Yesterday, I was reading chapter 9, and I was looking that for some misconceptions of Islam and like what people say and things like that, and I came across one thing, and I was like, oh my God, look at this. They say that, chapter 9 doesn't start with the Bismillah ar-Rahman
Yeah.
ar-Rahim. They say that somebody asked that why is there no Bismillah, and somebody responded to that was that because the one of the so-called Sahabi forgot to write it.
Oh God.
Okay.
Sahabis wrote jack shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I know,
The
I know.
Quran was written by those who ran away after they made Jesus God, and they were put to sleep in the cave under the Aqsa Mosque. And they were brought out after 309 years when Muhammad was in play, and they wrote the Quran at the end of the sequence.
Yep. I
That's it.
believe, yeah, 100%. That's, I
These
believe that,
people are
yeah.
crazy.
And when
And
they
the
say,
Quran has been written under the supervision of the Spirit and the angels,
yes,
exactly as it's supposed to be written.
yep,
Nothing has changed since then. Since that time, in 627 or whatever the year was when the Quran came down in the month of Ramadan, and nothing has changed. It will never change. If it changes, then God's promise is broken. God will take the message away from them, which He has. The message is in front of them, but it's been taken
yeah,
away from
yeah,
them.
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
not willing to come to it because they've bought into the nonsense of Satan, as always.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a question. If you have any more questions, or can I
I
ask?
don't have any questions.
Okay.
And I don't
Uh,
have any questions on the side here.
yeah, no, that's what I meant. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I can't see
Yeah.
that on the
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
Anyway,
there's no questions.
okay, this is totally like I don't know about the AI. Like
Hmm.
there is so much talk these days going about the AI, and like we heard somebody talk about it, and they said that AI is just like, I know this is what I understood, that it's like us, it's learning, like we're learning, and that bullshit. I mean, sorry for using bad language, but I mean, we are a beautiful design that God has made us. And the way our system works, like, even if you take one thing and you try to look at it, it is so intricate that, I mean, no human can design anything like what God has made our bodies, like how they function, our bodies. And of course, don't even talk about the soul, right? We don't even know how that is. So, what do you have to say? And also in chapter 27, there is a sign that kind of points towards something like that. And sign number 82 in chapter 27, it says, "And when occurs the saying over them, we will bring out to them creatures from the earth, will speak to them. Surely the mankind they are with the signs, not their showred." So are these, can you say that these are the creatures, the AI? I don't know.
Which sign is it? 27?
82, I think I said. 82.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have these so-called microchips, yeah, and they program them to do certain things. They have evolved programming to the level where they can go on different paths, not just serially, like in parallel. So, and they can judge in the sense that take two or three different paths instead of telling them do this and that'll be done, right? What is a serial computer? You tell it to add 2 plus 2, it's 4. That's what it's going to do. You make a program where you let it choose randomly, however random that is. It's not random, but it uses whatever algorithm and database to figure out which decision to make. So you can program because we have the processing power. I don't know how these chips work personally. I don't want to know. I mean, it's just man-made nonsense, which makes things more difficult and easier for us to live. You choose. I mean, you can make your life easy with this technology. You can make your life difficult. They're trying to make your life difficult for you by putting the impediments in your path to what you want to do and telling you this technology is making it easier and safer for you. Nonsense. It's a complete nonsense, right? So if you program the computer and you give it all the database, which is all garbage, by the way, like all the data centers, they have all the information, and you program it to figure out what is the right thing, which you program it to do. It can't do itself. And then they say it's programming itself. This I am not sure about, but it could be. You can tell computers to write code now, right?
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
make them. So they've taught it to, oh, if you see this, write this kind of code. It's going to be a disaster in the end. Absolutely. And now they're making all these robots, right? So you can see them act like humans, right? I mean, you can see them move like humans. They can run, they can skip, they can jump. Yeah, all that stuff is happening. So, what does that make us believe, that we're creating life somehow? That's what they want you to believe, right? By saying AI, which means artificial intelligence. It's not real intelligence, it's artificial. We made it up. There is no way they're going to create a soul. Not going to happen. It's the soul doesn't exist in this world. It doesn't. It cannot. You will not see a soul in this world. The soul is out there, which is put into this body and taken away. That's how it works. The creation of the soul itself is unknown to us. We don't know what that soul is.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty much indestructible. The soul is indestructible. The body is what dies, not the soul, which the soul dies, i.e., the body dies and the soul goes away, which happens every night. So they haven't created anything close to real life. What it's doing, yeah, I mean, I can't figure out everything. I can't tell you I know exactly what's going on. I can see what's going on and what they're trying to do from what I understand. I don't see it as life. I see it as giving autonomy to the program to do certain things, just like we have. So they relate that to, oh, it's the same as us. Bullshit. Not even close. You cannot replicate this body. I mean, they can't create an eye, let alone the whole body. What are they talking about? Yeah, they can create these robotic bodies and power them, and they can run around and they can start killing people, which they will soon through these robots, and they're already doing it through the drone wars in Ukraine and this war that's going on in the Middle East now that started, which has been going on for a while. So yeah, I mean, what was your question about the reality? Yeah, and then the other part that you said about the creatures. So in the Quran, the creatures have been mentioned many times, of people, of Noah, of Ad, of Thamud, of Pharaoh. All these, the creatures, who are the creatures? What they create. What they create. The creatures they create, like what they're creating, hybrid humans, these robots, anything. They had their own technology, and it was far greater than ours, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But by a long shot, it was far greater than ours. So if you look in the Quran, you will see that it refers to creatures of the family of Pharaoh, The,
It's
the people
yeah.
of Noah, Thamud, Ad, all these people, you've seen that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's what they're talking about here in this chapter 27. If you go there, and when occurs the saying over them, which is the end, when they will be destroyed, we will bring out to them creatures from the earth, will speak to them. So are they not speaking to you now through the screens virtually and soon to be implemented? And they are bringing out these goddamn robots that they put on screen and say they're like you. And then when you look at the background, they're wrapping them up in freaking containers and shipping them to the
Yeah.
next. It's unbelievable that people fall for this shit. And the Arabs, the Saudis gave that damn Sophia citizenship of Saudi Arabia. I mean, that damn thing. What I mean, it's just a
Piece
freaking,
of machine.
it's a machine, and it's just a construct. They want you to fall for that construct, and guess what, most of them are falling because it's going to make them rich, and it's going to make everybody easy. Everything's going to be easy. Everybody will be free on the earth. It will be an age of affluence. Sure it will. Surely the mankind, they are with our signs, not they assured. So like at the time of Abraham, the creatures they had weren't speaking, right? You can see that as well. Abraham, when he said to the idols, why aren't you speaking? Why don't you eat?
Yeah.
Right? These people, or that these people, these creatures that are making on the earth, they're not going to eat anything. They're going to be powered by electricity, but they will speak. Oh, look, this is better than the time of Abraham. They were backward. You have no idea. They were backward. But like at that time, obviously, Abraham, the idols that he broke were all fixtures, like their statues they have today as well, by the way.
Yeah, they carved them. They carved them, right? Like he
Yeah,
says
they
that.
carved with their
Yeah,
hands. Look at how
yeah.
many statues are there on the earth that they carved. I
Too
mean,
too
left, right,
many.
and center. And they're still doing them in India. Especially in India, they make these 60, 80 feet tall statues. And then they bow to them as if they're gods. They
Yeah,
treat them like gods. So
yeah.
yeah, what? It's happening. So can you now connect that to the end of this generation? Absolutely. This is not the only sign that says the end of this generation is coming. This is one of the signs. Now at the end, these creatures will be the Gog and the Magog, which the Jews, Christians talk about left, right, and center, and they attribute the Russians to be the Gog and Magog. Some of them, by the way, pieces of garbage, nonsense, total garbage. That generation of people, like the Gog Magog, those creatures, are are separated from us by a barrier that was created by Zulkarnain, one of the angels of God. They cannot overcome it. They cannot tunnel through it. They are stuck there. When the hour comes, and that hour is the end hour of this creation of mankind, this second creation of mankind will end after they are let loose. That will be the death knell for the people of this creation. I don't know. I'm probably not going to be there. Yeah, we will not be there. That thing is, in my estimation, far off in decades, years, centuries. I don't know. The clear and present destruction that is coming is the smoke that will come to destroy mankind. And before that, or at that time, I don't know, these sons of Israel will be destroyed. Their highness, their wealth, their hegemony, their highness of stature, and their destruction and war will be destroyed. When that comes, I mean, you won't have to know. You will know then by, nobody will have to tell you. I won't be here sitting trying to tell you whether it is here. You will know it's here.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, okay, I think we're done for today. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so to reiterate, so I'm not going to be coming every week now. I will wait for questions to come in from whoever wants to ask, and when there is enough questions to fill up an hour, I will set the stream up, and it'll be on Saturday, one of the Saturdays at 1 p.m. New York time, and it'll be done at least 3, 4, 5 days before, so you'll know that I'll be streaming that weekend, the 6 or 7 that come in. Watch. All right. Anything else to wrap up?
No, thank you so much. You've given us again a wealth of information that are in all these videos, and I'm sure that some of us will go back and listen to them, and hopefully
No,
it will
no,
help
no.
us.
I'm sure no one is going to go back and listen to them.
Um, well,
Anyways, all right
anyway,
then.
okay. Okay,
Peace.
salam. Thank you.